Greetings and welcome to my very brief, or not brief, but introduction video to Discord Duels, and initially just showing you how this bot works. This is necessarily not going to explain absolutely everything about the bot. There is some stuff left there for you to discover because I'm still learning with the bot itself, but this is a video I more or less made for some friends because I don't feel like teaching each and one of them and individually how the bot works. Instead, just make a video and then just link them this. So once again, this is Discord Duels. This is how I found it from discordbot.org. Of course, you can go ahead and invite the bot to your server. Blah 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 blah. I'm just assuming you guys know how to do that. This is necessarily a video guide on necessarily how the bot works. So I did make a server, an empty server, just so I can actually try it out, and I use one of my fake accounts to go ahead and try this out because I'm not going to use mine, otherwise it would be a lot harder to explain everything. So by default, the bot's command is going to be star exclamation mark. So we haven't even created a profile, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and create a profile there. It's going to go ahead and give you the information. Legend of Captain the Maiden begins. You can always use a help command. So if you use the help command, it's going to go ahead and send it to you via your DMs. And then from here, it'll obviously have some of the commands, beginner commands, non-gaming related commands, important commands, other commands, stuff like that. So it's one of the things I did do is when I'm playing with the bot, more or less, I'll do my commands and everything like that in the Discord server, and if I ever need any type of help or anything like that, I'll just go to the message for the bot itself, and then this will be right here, or you can just do the help command. So let's continue on with making our profile. So first up is let's actually view our profile. So of course we're going to do star profile as soon as I learn that spell. Alright, so profile is going to ask you for what do you actually want to do. So it's going to tell you the usage, that's the actual command that you need to put in, and then you just fill in a blank. So let's say the player. So the player is going to be, by default, it's going to be me, so there won't even be anything there. So we're going to have to fill out a section. So we can do the main, just main details, resources, items like that. Resources is like the currency systems that the bot runs. Loadout is of course using your equipment and everything like that. And then there's full, which is going to give you everything. So let's do full. Alright, so from here, it's going to give you at the top that you still need to finish making your profile and everything like that before you can actually start. Technically, you can start right off the bat. It's just you're not fully started, so you're going to be at a disadvantage. So it's going to give you your starting health, your level. You can also, once again, if you just want to get right into the fighting, you can do dual wows, and you can just get on fighting. There's tiers, which I will explain later on. It's pretty much the same thing as levels. Once you reach a certain level, you go to the next tier. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You have your lives. By default, you start by 5. You have available skill points. And let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and just go down from top to bottom and do our skill points. So, so let's do skill sign. Sorry. Now it's gonna ask, is once again gonna bring this up to tell you what you necessarily need to do and everything like that, like before, the usage for it. So we're obviously gonna be assigning your points. It's gonna ask which stat and then by which amount. So by default, when you first start, you will start with 1 available skill point. So let's go ahead and assign that. So what you need to do is you just use star exclamation mark skill assign. And then let's do strength like in the And then it's gonna ask you if you want to confirm. That's 1 skill point to strength. And then you're gonna, oh, sorry, that's my default command. And then it's gonna confirm. It's gonna tell you that you confirmed it. Your class is gonna change based on that. Once again, we'll go into that. It's gonna tell you your primary passive, your secondary passive, and of course your speed, strength, resilience. Since we just put it into strength, we now do 9% more damage. So now if we go to profile, loadout like it's adjusting, this is necessarily the upper part of the full, and we still need some stuff we need to fill in. But if we go to profile full and bring everything back up, you'll see that we no longer have that little warning up here that said we need to assign points. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to actually change the prefix. We want to change it to what mine is here. So you just type in the prefix and then you type in what you want. So now my prefix is exclamation mark, but by default is going to be star. All right, so now moving on, we've now gone to we now have a new class. So if you want to find out info on your class, so as you can see here, classes are determined based on how many skill points you have put into your based on how many skill points you put into your character. So there's of course speed, strength, and resilience. Since we put one into strength, it's now a primary, so we get the healing of 6%. If we have a second one that is, once again, more than 50% of our skill points are going into, we'll either get a secondary effect, or if we put in enough points, rather into resilience or speed, we'll switch the class and it'll become our primary, getting either the effects of their primary effects of either speed or resilience. So we have our primary passive, which is healing of 6% of our attack base damage. Our secondary is, we don't have one because we don't have enough points. It gives you your stats. Now there's the Keystones, and these are our passive that you can actually, just like your skill points, you can actually change at any given time. You can reset them. So if you necessarily don't like your build, you can just reset them and re-put your points in. Your Keystones are passive that are always active, and they necessarily have different benefits, and once again you can change them whenever you want. So let's go ahead and look into our Keystones. It's gonna once again give us our command for it. So here it's pretty much just telling you how to do the command, but first, before you even know what we're gonna add, upgrade, or remove, what we're gonna do is we need to see what our options are. So here's our options for our Keystones, depending on how you want. So you start off with 12 points for Keystones, and you can spend those points however you want. You can't get any one of these up to past 5. So the highest you can get them is a 5. So what you can do is you can do 5 points into Reckless Fighter, 5 points into Giant Slayer, and then 1 point to Secret Soldier, and then 1 point to Unburdened Spirit. It's really up to you on how you necessarily want to build. They each have their ups and downs. So since we have 12, let's go ahead and assign something. So let's go ahead and make this person, let's just make them a glass cannon, So what we're gonna need is, let's put in 5 points into Reckless Fighter, 5 points into Giant Slayer, and then I don't know, we'll think of something. So what you need to do is, obviously we need to go back up, and we need to see what how do we use these commands. So in order to add one, you would do Keystone, you do add, you do what it is, make sure you put the dash underneath it so it's one word, and this is gonna add whatever you put to your list of Keystones. So Reckless Fighter, since we're gonna do that, it's gonna confirm Reckless Fire has been added 1. So let's go ahead and check out our profile. So now we have 11 out of 12 that we spent, and it shows us here Reckless Fighter 1. And of course the Reckless Fighter deals more damage but have added recoil. So, you know, once again it's ups and downs. So once again, let's go ahead and upgrade that to the max, which is 5. So if we go back up here, we can see the command for it is Keystone, upgrade, and then we select what we want, and then we want to do 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back down, we're going to put into that command. It's going to tell us that we did it. Go ahead and add 1. So now it's at 2, it's at 3, it's at 4, it's at 5. Now when we do it again, it's going to tell us that we're unable to, which means we're at our max of 5. So let's go back up. Let's find another one we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to do Giant Slayer. So we're going to go ahead and grab that command, because I'm too lazy to type this. And then we're going to go ahead and get that Giant Slayer. Alright, it's now added the Giant Slayer to us, which makes it level 1. Then what we're going to do is going to go ahead and grab that command again. We're going to type in upgrade. We type in 1. Now it's at 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to go back up. So now, once again, we're going for a glass cannon build for this example here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and use Fortune Advisor. And now that's going to go to 1. Now it's at 2, and just to confirm that we only have 12 and we're not able to go to 13, we're gonna once again try to upgrade it again. It's gonna tell us no. So now we're gonna do profile loadout to see what our profile loaded is. Now it tells us what our points have now spent, and also that little red warning is now away. And so what else do we have here? So now we have our ultimate. Of course, ultimate ability. In order to actually look up some of this stuff, which is pretty cool, in that in the bot itself you can look up just about anything. So let's see, we want to look up what our ultimate is, because ultimate is chaotic surge, but how would we look that up? So what you want to do is you want to type in info, and this is where you would necessarily be able to look up just everything you need to know more information about. So what we're looking for is looking for ultimate. So we'll type in info ultimate, and then let's see here. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It's ultimate with an S. That's my fault. Put in the command correctly this time. There you go. So now the ultimate that we have is once again chaotic surge. So chaotic surge deals a large amount of damage to an enemy while also receiving an amount of that as recoil. There's of course different other ultimates as well. So now we know what our ultimate is. What else is next? We now have our ready. Our ultimate is now currently ready. So if when we get into a fight, we'll be able to use our ultimate and go ahead and fight something. What our weapon is now is that we have a training stick. We have some fusion stats here, which I'll once again go into more detail as we continue. And as right now, there's 3 types of damages that you can, or three different types of attacks that you can do, which is rush, strike, and counter. Because this game goes by as you can see from the website, it is doing a rock paper scissors system. And just once again, rush, strike, and counter are rock paper scissors. So let's go ahead and look at our profile, our full profile. So as you can see, we no longer have a red warning. We have once again our health, all our stats have been assigned. We have all our keys. Keystones have been put in. We haven't actually fought any monsters yet. We don't have any resources yet because we haven't done anything. We have our experience. We don't have any because we haven't killed anything. We already gone through our ultimate and everything like that. The guild alliance is whatever you whenever you create your profile, your guild alliance by default is the server that you started in. And again, we have the fusion stats, which we'll go over. So what do you do after here? Well, first you want to go ahead and get your daily. Be able to get it once through a day. So as you can see here, we have something in our inventory, and we also got our daily rewards. We get some monster cores, which is pretty much the currency of the game. We have some experience, 25 Nexus stars, and 3 lives. It also tells us what we've got here. It seems we got 1 smooth material, so let's go ahead and check that out. So we're gonna do what it suggests here, and let's see. Fusion's weapon sets attribute to blank. So pretty much what this does is we'll go ahead and bring up is that each weapons have weapons have 2 types. They can have 2 type of attributes to them. One is going to be an element, which is obviously none, flaming, frosted, electrify, coral, so on and so on and so on. Or it can have a structure, which is lightweight, sharpened, reforged, razor sharp, blunt, etc. So let's see what we have here. So let's look at our weapon. So our weapon has no structure and no elements. There's also an upgrade cost that you can upgrade your weapon. Your weapon upgrades, you upgrade your weapon with you. So if you're level 2, you can upgrade your weapon to level 2. If you're level 3, you can upgrade your weapon to level 3. There's also the damage. Each weapon has its own damage types. As you can see here, this one's all balanced to, it's balanced between rush, strike, and counter. And let's go back to our inventory. Inventory allows to fuse with our weapon to give it none structure, and since it already has none, there is none. So let's check on our other resources that we have obtained there. So in order to do that, we'll just go ahead and do info resources, and then what I'm also going to do is profile resources as well, so we can go ahead and see what we have. So monster cores. Monster cores here are pretty much, you know, what you're gonna have the most of. You get to do defeating mobs, obtaining when you get weapons, a duplicate. You'll, you know, obviously when you complete your dailies, when you sell items, you'll go ahead and get monster cores. They're used for, you know, upgrading weapons, upgrading guild, healing yourself. You know, standard stats is of course your experience. Experience is used for leveling up. You have your honor. If you do PvP, you can use that honor to buy lives. There's of course your skill points. You'll get your leveling up. Your keystones. You only get 12, so you won't be able to get any more than that. You have your lives. You can once again buy lives. You can also use your honor to buy lives and everything like that. Because if you do run out of lives and you do die, you go to you enter a stasis status, and when you're under stasis status, you're not able to do anything until that time runs out, and then once that time runs out, you'll be able to go ahead and continue playing the game. If you have lives, you'll obviously skip that stasis time, and you'll immediately be able to go back into fighting. You have chaos energy. This delays in real time, collecting by defeating mobs. This is how you charge your ultimate. So if you want to use your ultimate, just constantly just keep fighting and you'll charge it up naturally. You have your Nexus shards. These are collected once again. Your dailies are by dueling other players or fighting in parties with other players. So one of the other things cool about this is that there's bosses, and you and your friends can join together to take down these bosses once you reach level 20. You can use those for guild boosters and reviving yourself. You have chaos fragments attained by completing goals and referring players. So if you want to refer people to play this, you can do that and you will be rewarded for it. You can use those chaos fragments for once again reviving yourself, creating custom weapons, and transcending. And then there's also souls collected by defeating mobs when you have a soul blinded weapon. And then there's only a certain amount of soul blinding weapons, so you can actually do the command and they'll tell you if you have one in your inventory. So as you can see here, we have 13 monster cores, so we can use that for healing yourself if we need to, or to upgrade our weapon. Since we are level 1 and the weapon is level 1, we won't be able to upgrade it. Chaos energy, used for powering up your ultimate. It is at 0, but we do have it ready. We have chaos fragments; those are from getting goals. Nexus shards, once again, for upgrading boosters. Souls, we don't have a soul bounded weapon, nor have we fought a player, so there's going to be Dueling. But let's go ahead and check on our goals and see what our goals actually are. So it looks like our goal is to kill three creatures using the Wolf Fang. Apparently we do not have the Wolf Fang, but it is the way this works when it comes to goals. Let's say if you're looking for a weapon, so because there's obviously going to be more goals, and you'll need, most of them are going to have goals where you need a certain weapon, you need to get kills with it. So how do we find this out? So first we're going to have to look up the weapon itself. So we're going to do the weapon command, and this particular weapon is number 7. So this is the default version, the base version of the Wolf Fangs. As you view, it's type melee tier 1, and that's the tier we're going to be fighting in, so we'll be able to fight monsters in that tier to hopefully drop it so we can equip it and then do our goal. There's upgrade costs. Once again, there's a minimum maximum. Its base stat or base aptitude, as it says, is blank and blank. It also has a blade, its damage, which can go for anywhere from 14 to 166 for rush, 14 to 166 for strike, or 6 to 73 for counter. So now we know we have our profile has been done, it's been full. We know our goals. Our goal is to get this weapon. It's in tier 1. Let's see if you want to get more information on what monsters are actually in tier 1. We'll type in the command for that. And these are all the monsters we're currently going to be facing here in tier 1. So now that we've done that, let's actually get into a fight. So if we do Duel Wild is going to fight a monster by default in your tier. You can also do like Duel Wild 2 or Duel Wild 3. These have you fight monsters in those tiers. So if you're in tier 20, or sorry, if you're in like tier 5 and you want to fight a monster in tier 3, you just type Duel Wild 3 and then fight a monster in tier 3. So let's go ahead and do Duel Wild and actually do a fight. So it's gonna go ahead and just load up the command here. So as you can see here, you can click R, S, and C for rush, strike, and counter, which are the rock, paper, scissors. You can also do click A for auto attacking. I'll show you here. Rush beats strike, strike beats counter, and counter beats rush. You can click on the P to view your combat status. You can click on the U to do your ultimate, which our ultimate is ready. You can also flee by typing in the command. You can click E to view your enemy. And then as you can see here, you can also type it out in case you don't want to use the buttons. And if for whatever reason, if this isn't showing, you can also use relocate to go ahead and bring that up. If you don't know how duels work, so let's go ahead and hit info duels. And once again, I need to do the right command. So duels are turn-based. Players can participate in the direct messages created for Duels, Discord Duels. So if you wanted to do this purely in private messages, you can do that in private messages, so you don't crowd out the chat, or if there's too many people talking in chat and it's kind of confusing and everything like that. While in Duels, players and NPCs will be using 3 different types of attacks. It's pretty much just self-explanatory. Each participant in a duel has a weapon and the amount of damage they deal in each turn. They're affected by what attack they choose, whether they win the turn, lose the turn, or it's in tied. So of course, if you rush, it's a tied. If you rush and the person is doing a strike, and then you win that, and you'll do more damage while they do less. So if it's a tide, so if you do rush and rush, it's 50%. If, like the example, if you do rush and they do strike, you do 100. And if you're the one who did strike and they did rush, you do only 25. So once again, let's go back to our fight. So let's look at our enemy. So we're gonna do E. It's gonna view our enemy here. We're fighting a wolf, wolf of 28 HP, level 1's a little bit of strength like us. Goes away a little bit too fast, and then I'll show you its stats and then its fusion stats. As you can see here, it's weak. It's good against strike, but it's weak against, I think that was strike. It's weak against rush. So let's go back up and let's go ahead and rush it. So what you do is just select on that. Oh, I almost lost it there. And it'll give you first turn, Catherine versus the wolf. I took 4 damage from recoil. I gained 1 HP. That is from my keystone. No, that's not from a keystone. It's from a keystone. Hold on, let me double check here. I'm not able to check it, and then I don't think it shows us on our profile. No, because that's the skill boost, and then Reckless Fire's recoil and Giants players, they do a little bit more damage based on their HP. The wolf countered, so the wolf did a counter attack. We did a rush. So since the wolf did a counter and we did a rush, we did less damage. I did 6, and then it shows our remaining HP. I'm at 144, and the wolf is at 14. So what you can do is unselect that, and then you can go ahead and select it again. So let's do strike, and then let's see. There we go. So let's see. I actually skipped a turn, that was my fault, but we can talk about combos later. So it looks like the wolf gained a life. We took 4 damage from recoil. We gained a life. The wolf did 7 damage. It did a struck. We also did 10. We killed it. So we have 115 HP remaining. We defeated the wolf. We gained 17 experience. We received 26 weapon cores, and we also received the wolf fang weapon, which is one of our goals. So we're gonna go ahead and look at that weapon real quick. We already looked it up, so we already know what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and equip it. So what you want to do to equip this weapon is that when it goes into your weapon slots, each weapon has its own individual number. This was once again number 7, but once it goes into an inventory, in order to equip it, it's whatever it is in your inventory slot. So if we know to do the shortcut INV inventory, it's going to bring up that. So if we want to look at all, we'll do inventory all, and it will show us here. So we have 2 things in our inventory, and those are the wolf fang. So if we wanted to equip the wolf fang, what we can do here is equip. It's the second one in our slot. It's gonna ask you to confirm that. So one of the things now that we can do now that we have a weapon is we can do inventory all again, if I can just spell it correctly. And it'll show that our trading stick is now in inventory. So what we can do now is we can sell our inventory, or sell. So bring up the command. So what we want to sell is we want to sell our trading stick, which is in slot 2. So what we do is do sell, and then we'll do slot 2, and then we want to sell one of them. And since there's only one in our inventory, we'll just go ahead and do 1, and then go ahead and sell that for us. So now if we go to profile, and then we go to our full profile. I thought I spelled it wrong. It'll show our current HP because we did take some damage from the fight. We are still level 1. We're still in tier 1. We haven't died yet. And I'll now update. We have 1 monster slain. Of course, we have some more monster cores, our Nexus shards. We also gained some experience, and our ultimate is still ready. So let's go ahead and check up on our goal now. So our goal is to kill weapon fangs, or kill creatures using the weapon fangs. And since we now have it equipped, we now start doing our goals. So let's go ahead and get back into another fight. It's gonna load up the commands here. Let's go ahead and look at what we're fighting here. So it looks like we got some things to worry about. It has a 10% chance to heal for 19 and cause a stun for 3 turns. And all successful blocks will heal for 4 and stagger us. Anything else we need to worry about? Weak against rush and also strike, and we need to watch out for its strike. Outside that, that is all. So let's go ahead and once again it's weak to rush, so let's go ahead and rush it. I think yeah, it did it twice. Yeah. So let's see. We took some damage for recoil. Catherine gained 1 HP. We dealt 2 damage. Dealt 2 damage to us, but we dealt 29 to him. So looks like we got 110 remaining. We defeated Unknown Soldier. We gained 17 experience. We received 26 monster core. It looks like we received an armor. So let's go ahead and check that out. So let's see, armor. It is clearly not designed for infantry. So it's a tier 1, and this is where that bottom part of your profile comes in handy. You'll get these items that you can fuse into your person, and it increases those stats. So this one will decrease our rush damage, but it'll increase our strike and counter damage. It'll make us take more damage from resist. We'll take more damage from rush, and we'll take more damage from strike, but we'll take less damage from counters. And so let's go more into fusion. So let's go info fusion. I think I put a space there. There you go. So fusion allows you to buff your character with mob drops. You can fuse up 3 items at a time, only 3 per tier. So what we can do here is we can get 3 in tier 1 and then 2 in tier 2. You can also, once again, you can always view what you're gonna put into your person. You can remove all of them and you don't get any of the items back by defusing, so that's something you definitely want to watch out for. So let's go ahead and fuse that. So we'll type in fuse. Once again, that is still our second item into our inventory, so we'll do fuse 2. It's gonna ask us to confirm that, so we'll do yes. And then we'll go ahead and do what it's suggesting, which is profile loadout, to see what our new stats are. Oops. And as you can see here, now we do a little bit more. We do more damage for our strike and counter, but we do less with rush. So we're gonna try to avoid using rush. And let's go ahead and get into another fight. It's gonna load everything up there. So once again, you always want to check out. You always want to check to see what they have, so you know what you're fighting and what to prepare yourself for. Because you can, once again, you can run at any given time. So that now we saw what this undead soldier can do. Obviously, a 10% chance to heal for 19 and cause a stun effect for 3 turns, and all successful counters will heal it. So it's gonna, once again, it's gonna do a counter. So let's go ahead. It may do a counter, but if it does do a counter, it's gonna benefit from it. So let's do a rush. Activated shield block. It's a weapon effect. Let's go ahead and check its weapon effect, because it did a shield block. Shield block is when it does successful counter. So it did do a counter. It healed for 4, and it staggered the enemy for 1 turn. So undead soldier gained 4 life. We took 5 from recoil. We gained 1, And then Undead Soldier countered and did 11. We rushed and did 6. Since counter beats rush, we did less damage. Catherine has 95, while Undead Soldier has 9. So we're gonna unselect. Since it benefits for doing counter, we're gonna go ahead and try to do a strike and see if it does another counter. We took 5, gained. Undead did another counter, and we did when we rushed it. So we did 36 damage, while it did only 2 to us. We have 89 left. We defeated Undead Soldier. We gained 17 experience. We're now level 2. We got a new skill point. We received 26 monster cores and received another armor. So let's go ahead and assign that skill point. So skill assign. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do resilience this time. So we're gonna do a smart skill assign resilience. And then we're gonna do that by 1. We're gonna confirm that, and then we're gonna check out our profile loadout. Oops. Did I not spell profile right? It's like 9 in the morning, so I apologize. So now we have 5 additional HP. And then let's go ahead and fuse what other item we got. So let's see. Let's go ahead and check what slots in. We're gonna do all. It's our second slot, so let's go ahead and let's double check on it one more time though. This gives more strike damage, and then let's go ahead and fuse with 2. It's gonna ask us to confirm. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna check out our new stats. See here, now we do significantly a lot more strike damage. We do a little bit of counter damage. Kind of want to stay away from rush. Let's check out our goals. Seems like we just need to kill 1 more creature, so let's go ahead and start a fight. Let's put that strike damage to use here. So we're just gonna double ahead and check on our monster. We definitely want to see their effects. Overpower targets. Double check that. So all attacks have a 20% chance to overpower and do 10% damage of target's health as additional damage and cause a wound effect for 60 for 3 turns. And then the other one was all attacks have a 9% chance to deal 1 recoil damage and deal 23 less damage and cause a stun effect. Alright. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and do that rush. Catherine took 5 damage for recoil. We gained 2. It struck, did 27 damage, but we also rushed and did 20 damage. Looks like it also activated its weapon effect coding. We're at 89 and it's at 2. So let's go ahead and do a counter. That's gonna go ahead and wrap it for that. As hurt from the wound, it took 50 damage. Probably killed itself. Alright. Gained 21 experience, received 26 cores, So it looks like we defeated it. Looks like we did go ahead and beat our goals. So let's go ahead and claim that by putting our goals in. Goal completed, 20 monster cores, 7 experience, 1 chaos fragment. It's gonna bring us our new goal counter. 2 times using a weapon, tortoise strike. Blah. I'll also once again tell you how to find this. So let's go ahead and see where we can find this weapon. So weapon. 162. It is a tier 1 and we're fighting tier 1, so there we go. It also has a basic effect, or has a effect. by default. All failed attacks have a 35% chance to heal for 20 to 500 HP and cause a stun effect on the user for 2 turns. Gives you a max and minimum, a minimum max, more of a strike and a counter weapon. If you have that type of build. Alright, so let's go back up. What else did we get here? We got a razor sharp, so let's go ahead and check that out there. Razor sharp has a blah blah blah. Fusing weapon gives you the structure of the sword, but we don't know what that is, so let's go ahead and look into that. So let's see, we are looking for the sword here. So the sword gives it razor edge. Weapons with the structure up to have increased rush and strike damage, but counter damage is gravely lowered. So now if we go back up to our profile, we'll see what we do. So we do rush, so our rush is kind of, you know, in the negatives. We do great strike damage. We do pretty good counter damage. So if we apply razor edge to our weapon, it would benefit it would help with our lacking rush damage, but it really wouldn't benefit us. It would definitely benefit our strike damage, and kind of negate, or just it wouldn't make it worth it to do counter, and that's kind of just the downside of it. So let's go ahead and actually equip that to it. So we'll do fuse. It's the second item in our inventory. Just gonna ask us to confirm that, and then we're gonna go ahead and check out our weapon now. Actually, we're gonna do weapon equipped. So now it has the element for that, so we'll do more strike damage. Anything else? Nope, we got experience, of course, everything like that. We are good. We once again we did level up, so we're gonna go ahead and upgrade our weapon to 2. It's gonna ask us to confirm to upgrade our weapon. Yes, we will. Profile full. Let's see what we got here. So we are low on life, so we're going to heal. The command for healing is obviously whatever your prefix is, and heal. So we're gonna do that. It's gonna ask you what you need. So for using this command, what you're gonna do is you type in your heal, and then you're gonna type on just how much you want. So if you want to do, let's say if you're at like 5% of your life and you just want to go to 10, you'll type in heal 10. But let's say if you want to get the heal full, you'll just type in heal full. So what we're gonna do is do that. So we're gonna type in heal full. It's gonna tell us we restored our HP to 100% for 78 cores because this ain't free. We are now 171 out of 171. So let's go ahead and duel again. And let's see what we're fighting against. All ice attacks have a 20% chance to heal for 20 HP. Also counters are for 5, none we haven't fought before. So let's go ahead and put in that. We're gonna go ahead and put in that strike damage, but of course with its buff up with the weapon we just fused into. So let's go ahead and once again do that strike, which is gonna be that S. So we took 7 damage from Rico. We gained 4 HP. It did 9 damage to us. We did 29 damage to him. Looks like we have 159 remaining, and it only has 1 HP remaining. So let's go ahead and do that again. We've gone ahead and beat it. Let's see, we're at 148. We beat the undead soldier. We got 21 experience, received 51 cords, received a new weapon. So let's go ahead and check that weapon out. So let's see what we got here. This does benefit us because that's what we already have on our weapon here. It does have an element of ice. Alright, let's double check on that. So element effect of ice, all chance have a 20% to heal. That's what we just looked up in shield blocks. Shield blocks wouldn't really benefit us because we kind of have a strike build here. and counters wouldn't really do much for us. But let's go ahead and look into that element, the frosted. And frosted gives it that element effect of ice. So it really wouldn't benefit us here. The ice would be nice, but the shield block wouldn't really do much for us. So what we're gonna do is just gonna sell it. So another thing we want to do is there's combos here, and the way combos work is when you it's going to be a 3-strike command, and then when you do that 3-strike, when you through those 3 commands, it's going to activate what you put. So what you can do is you can do damage, heal, resist, or invade. Obviously you can do more additional damage. You can heal yourself after you do the 3 commands in order, or you can do resist, or you can do an evade. So let's do it up for a heal. So if we wanted to do that, it tells us here, like, let's just steal this. So instead, we're gonna name it heal 1, and then instead of damage, we want to heal. So, and this works for our build because it's strike. And then it's gonna confirm us. We have heal 1. Recipe is strike, strike, strike. So as long as we do strike, 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 it's gonna give us our combo, which is the heal. So let's get into a fight and use our no combo. So of course we want to fight. We see what we're fighting here. It has a weapon, Goblin Club, has a fire. All attacks have a 20% chance to call a wound effect and do 27 damage on an enemy for 2 turns. Let's see what its strike resistance is, because that's what we're going to be using. Strike resistance, so it's going to do additional damage, so that's not bad. So anything else we need to worry about? Not much. 48 HP. So let's go ahead and use that new combo. Yep. We're just gonna go ahead and do it again. It's weapon activated fire. You're gonna do it again. So Catherine Surf from the wound, we took 23 damage. That's quite a lot. Gombo activated his combo, which did damage, so it did more damage to us. We activated our combo as well, which allows us to heal. So we took 7 damage. Instead, we actually healed for 10 versus 2. It did 8 damage to us. We did 25. We killed it. We have 97 remaining. Defeated the goblin. 21 experience. We're now level 3. Gained 1 skill point. 51 cores, and we received a new item. And that's pretty much the base of it. That's pretty much the base of the bot itself and getting you started. You pretty much just keep doing that, leveling up, finding new weapons, fusing, and everything like that. It does have a necessarily like a suggestion of what you want to do, and it's a nice basis. Of course, you want to start first by killing your loadout, which is what we did. You want to reach the target level is reaching level 30. You necessarily you can do that however you want. You can do that by fighting other players, fighting the wild, doing a combination of both. You want to gather 5 soulbound weapons on your way of getting to level 30 as well. You want to use those soulbound weapons to earn souls, completing goals as well to earn chaos fragment. And then once you got your soulbound weapons and everything like that, you can eventually take part in fighting bosses with you and your friends, or just you and whoever is in the server that is playing this game and is also level 20, bound together and take those down. And then once you've done all that, you fought some bosses, you got to level 30, you have your 5 soulbound weapons, you got some souls and stuff like that. You can fuse, you can transcend, which is pretty much the end goal of the bot, is to transcend with the boss fragments that you have obtained. And of course, this is just a suggestion. You can duel all you want all day. You can do the wild all day, but that's pretty much just a basic tutorial on how the bot works and how to get you started. This tutorial will get you pretty far. through getting to the game. Of course, if you have any questions or anything like that, there's once again the commands that you can use for the bot itself with info. Of course, if you need any help beyond that, what you can do is that you can actually join the actual server itself. So if you go to the website, you can also join the support server, and if you join that support server, it'll once again show you that support where you can actually talk to the owner itself and everyone else there in the chat. So let's actually do that. Blah. And this is their official server, where you can get, once again, it's the commands, introductions, and everything like that. Once I'll show you the commands again, and then there's announcements, so you can stay up to date on what's new and what's going on with the bot itself. And then there's also play zones, so you can actually play here. Once you get to level 6, you can get access to the rest of the Discord server. But outside that, of course, the link of this Discord server and everything like that will be in the description below. The website, in case you want to get this bot into your server, will be in the description below. If you have any questions, once again, you can use the bot itself. You can leave a comment. You can join my server, which will be in the link below. You can join the official server and get help there. If you, for some reason, want to know what playlist or the music that I'm using, that will be in the description below as well, or my playlist that I use. Any other than that, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a nap.